You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want him to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that skill. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
What's a scale?
What? You don't remember what a skell is? That gorgeous exoskeleton that just went by? Basically like the most incredible, awesomest super weapons ever? Lasers, force fields, bipedal and vehicular transformations. Sorry, I get so excited whenever I think about it.
And my character is just like,
Originally,
you're
scales were
insane.
developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the mission control board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
my name is Dr. Von Crazy, and welcome to more Xenoblade Chronicles X. Last time, we started to look at NLA, and this time, we're really going to look at NLA.
So this is mission control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every Blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of Blades around here, blowing off steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the Scout Console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the Scout Console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo.
Thanks?
And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Yeah, that felt redundant.
Hey.
Anyway, this is mission control. Oh, I cannot use this now. Great. I was going to explain what that did, but no. I'm not allowed to use it yet.
When the going gets tough, the tough go to the Scout Console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one Blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sort of.
Wait, what?
Anyway, awesome, right? So, you ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Well, that's me.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
I'm guessing I can't use this yet either. Nope. Well, cute. That is also a very interesting thing. But no, I can't use it right now.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell? Huh? Oh, right, the tour.
Lynn!
I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
Right.
Hey.
Sure. Oh yeah, there's characters along this area. Might as well check them out. Hello. What are your xenoforms?
Well.
After the horrible fate that befell Earth, some humans have come to resent all xenoforms. But as a scientist, I'm always eager to see examples of life forms who acquired intelligence through a different evolutionary path. From what I understand, I've found ruins throughout the planet that suggest intelligent life existed here previously. I always relish... What am I doing? I always relish opportunities to encounter the unknown. What about you? I guess we're not going to answer that question. Talking to a character will add them to your affinity chart. We'll get into that later, but I got an achievement for it, so I thought I might mention it. What's happening? The arms manufacturers have been asked to prioritize new weapons development, but that sort of work requires resources and money. And there aren't many large investors in ULA, so we have to seek capital and Maranium from individual blades. The amount of investment provided by each is small, but merge enough streams and you can end up with a mighty rift. At least, that's what we're counting on. If you join Blade, I hope you'll consider investing in your preferred arms manufacturers. That's something we'll be getting up to a bit later. What's this place? We sell strange and unusual stuff my husband picks out on the job. He's a pathfinder, so he's always finding crazy space junk and whatnot. I don't have anything to show you right now, unfortunately, but check back later. He should be back in a little while with a new haul that'll blow your battle socks clean off. Could be interesting. Ha! Jump on the truck. Yeah, shortcut to Blade Tower then. I always do that.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come here, it's usually to stop by Blade HQ. The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chassan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
You're
Okay,
so
Lynn,
excited!
seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's head back to the barracks. Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Oh yeah, he's still at the barracks. That completes our story mission. You've just woken up, so you must be feeling pretty hazy. If you're ever confused about anything, you can check the tips. I bet you'll find some info that'll be relevant to your situation. Okay. I don't need to save right now. It's in the middle of recording. I say that, but I saved during recording in last episode. Anyway. I don't see any new characters that I haven't talked to, and I don't feel like checking the, second option on any of their, dialogue trees. Why is there a treasure over there? Maybe that's... Oh, that's probably on the lower level. Anyway, let's head back to the barracks.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment. What in the hell are we waiting for? As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
What happens if I refuse? I don't know if I've ever done this before.
Ms. Ku, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure you have an
Whatever
idea
it be,
what she's
friend.
talking about. My god. Does this loop? What keeps happening if I keep doing this?
Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend?
You're such a blighter. Holy crap. Okay, I think it's looping now.
You said no. You wouldn't
No,
refuse.
no.
That's a yes.
Wait, hold
right?
on. You actual piece of trash. No, I'm keeping doing this. Now that you're trying to manipulate
no,
me.
you wouldn't refuse.
Now it's looping.
That's a yes, right?
Fine, fine. I'll accept your proposal.
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, he can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Are both of you part of the Cool Kids Club?
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier-Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The FrontierNav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a Blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Chapter 2 time. Let's... that. The New Frontier. I feel like jumping off of that window thing worked a lot better in the original version.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
That was probably us.
Seriously? That was you? Cool.
I don't think so. Those Grexes we took down were fairly routine. Definitely not something they'd lock both gates over, at least.
Spoil sport.
Then I take my cool back. But wait a sec. You guys fought Grexes? The two of you? Hey, that's still pretty cool. They've been hassling a lot of teams lately, especially how they hunt in packs and all.
Let's not get too excited. Confidence can be good. Overconfidence can be fatal, especially when you're new.
Yeah, you're right.
But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
This is Eleonora, Blade Support Lead, here to tell you that the segment feature of your map is now available. There we go. This is something I was waiting a long time for it to open up. Open up the map and you can see segments of everything. There's segments in ULA and FrontierNav. There's larger segments in the larger thing. And there's a lot of them. This is going to be a very, very large game and a very long Let's Play. I intend to unlock every single segment over the course of this playthrough. And, that's gonna take some time. On the Wii U, this was done on the Wii U gamepad. It's basically the same thing, although it's zoomed in a lot more. You can use the touchscreen to go between the different areas. You can look through it. The map is color-coded. Every hex is colored based on how powerful the monsters in that area are. You can also zoom in and out with the plus and minus on the side, but it's not very useful because it makes the hexes way too small to actually use. This can cause some problems, however. I just want to go to Armory Alley, but this man has some different ideas. Anyways, welcome to the Eastgate Plain? Where is it? I thought it triggered right as soon as you left from the Eastgate. Here it is, Eastgate Plain. Let's keep going. Our probe we need to install is right in front of us. Every probe has those giant laser lights above it. And there's also a base camp right over there.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
this is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
It's huge!
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. FrontierNav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
It's in the way. Let's get rid of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
It means it's in the way.
We
Let's
should
get rid of
probably
it.
explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
We can get him.
Well, alright. I'm game if you are. Count me in, Elma. Let's do this. If we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. We can't just keep running forever, you know? Besides, I'd never forgive myself if someone else ended up getting hurt because we just left it here.
All right. Let's do it. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use FrontierNav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Engaging a tyrant is no small task. It's important to equip your best before charging in, so double check all weapons and gear. Oh, and make sure your arts are ready and leveled up, okay? We haven't actually done that yet, and that does sound like a good idea. I've got good equipment, but arts. Let's move this. How do I move you again? X? Go over there. Press Y to upgrade an art. What do I want to upgrade? Probably Wild Down. How much? I have 18. It is a good idea to level up all of your arts at least once. Because for some reason, the first level up cuts the cooldown by a huge amount. That cut it by 8 seconds, and the next one, I pressed cancel. There. Art level up. The next one only cuts it by 4 seconds, and basically every other level will always cut it by 4 seconds. You get basically double the cooldown improvement on the first level up. So make sure you level up all your arts at least once. BP is tracked per party member, no need to worry about using it all on one party member. So just make sure all of your arts are at least level 2 before heading into this fight so that you can use a lot more arts. I think I'll also upgrade Assault Hammer one more time. That spends all my BP, but Assault Hammer is a ridiculous art. And now that we've got our arts leveled up, let's meet our man. Destroying appendages. You can aim your attacks at particular parts of your enemies. Reducing the appendage health gauge to 0 will destroy it. You can change the part you aim at with R plus Y or A. In the original, you had to use the right stick to lock onto the appendage. Clicking the right stick, more specifically. Destroying an appendage before defeating an enemy may yield additional rewards in the battle spoils. Where are you?
Open fire! Follow me!
Sure, why not?
Now, melee attacks.
I have a melee attack. The opponent isn't toppled, so I don't get the bonus effect, but whatever. Let's target a new appendage. I somehow broke the original one. Flame Cloak grants thermal res up to the entire party, which is very nice. I don't have any TP to use my special harness yet.
So you like
Ow.
knocking people around?
Lynn is your basic tank. She likes to have enemies target her and will take less than the normal amount of damage. Oops, soul challenge, why not? I'll get 200 extra TP for that. I didn't knock him over with my topple art, that kinda sucks.
I'm doing good! Your turn to land. Look at that! Follow up with melee attacks.
I opened one. Now it's my turn.
Is that what Keith Silverstein sounded like back in 2015, huh? Alright, let's see if I can actually get you knocked down this time. No good, it resisted the topple again. Oh well. Still got him. No problem at all, honestly.
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up. This beam of light indicates a FrontierNav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
Sure, why not?
Good. just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to FrontierNav.
Excellent. See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
What do we got? Feet? Okay. FN sites are optimal locations to plant data probes. Placing one will reveal segment recon for the surrounding segments. Oh, hi Lau. If we're gonna grow FrontierNav, we need to install more data probes. If you plant one, simply approach a vacant FrontierNav probe site and press A. If you find a good spot, be sure to go ahead and claim it. It's common sense, really. Now that's all. Now all that's left is to report back to base. But first, I'll let you in on a secret. A giant beast like that is usually best engaged with a scout. Neutralizing a foe like that on foot, especially a tyrant, is pretty risky. So be careful about such things in the future, okay? Here we go. When you install a data probe, you get Segment Recon. Segment Recon shows details of the tasks that need to be performed in each segment. Hello there. Each category is shown with its own icon. Resolving these increases your survey rate. If there is a segment task If there is a segment recon task still to address at your current location, a yellow hexagonal area will be displayed on your mini-map. This is known as the segment marker. The segment marker indicates the borders of the segment you're currently occupying. You can also go to main menu map segments, then select a segment and press right stick to manually display the segment marker for that particular segment on the mini-map. Manually set segment markers will display as a blue hexagonal area even when you're outside their borders. That is very convenient, actually. Why are some of these locked? This was not in the base game. The ones we can see tell you how you complete that segment. I might be able to complete this one right now, actually. Oh, segment icon. Oh, I missed it. Whoops. Oh well. I'm going to see if I can find that treasure to complete that segment. I think I see the mark for it. It's in the segment. I need to get on top of this cliff. Maybe this way? Well, it's not this way. It's probably the other way. This looks promising. Yeah! And hopefully that's a level 1 vehicle, because if it's not, I can't do anything about it. Heck yeah! That completes segment recon. When you complete a segment and open your map, it'll appear with a check mark. And that is basically how you're going to get to 100% completion in this game, if you want that. You're going to be going around, finding out what you're missing to complete each segment, and doing that. And eventually, you'll have all you need to complete all the segments. And I say that as if there aren't like 200 of them in the game.